Howdy y'all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. I feel like something's not right here. Maybe my gear. I've got my tools. I feel like all my inventory has been emptied. Didn't I have more stuff than this? I put it in here, did I? No. So at the end of last episode, I had made it to, I made it back to here. My original base. And, was trying to survive. Good old Horde Night. Blood Moon. And, would you believe the zombies crawled right up in here with me? Right after I stopped recording. Had to fight off a whole wave of zombies coming in. Where's my bicycle? I have a mini bike, but where's my bicycle? Did I not bring it? Did I run out here? Doesn't seem like something I'd do. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to run home and see. Oh, you know what happened? I died at my base and respawned. I did run over here. I do remember that now. Well, I had a weird work week this week, and I mean it started last week. We had some stuff we had to get done, and so I had to work over the weekend, which meant that I was done this week early. So I got done Thursday afternoon. And I'm like, all right, Thursday afternoon, nice. I'm gonna have a big weekend. And so I was gonna record, and then I didn't. And then, I mean, it's only Friday now, so it's not like I was gonna record and now it's Tuesday afternoon. No. And I've just found myself scrunched up in my recliner watching movies. That was what happened after I got done with work on Thursday. I just watched movies until I went to bed. I watched, unfortunately, none of them were particularly good. I was so disappointed. I'd heard good things about, at least one of them. And, I don't know, man. I sat down and, flipping through the different services we have, and, you know, like Netflix and stuff. And I saw Maggie, which I hadn't seen, which is spoilers for Maggie, which is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where it's a zombie movie where his daughter gets bitten, and I have to say it was like the most boring, sedate zombie movie where nobody's afraid of the zombies I've ever seen. I don't get it. I don't know why Uh, why? I heard good things about it because it was not good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was awful. I'm just saying it wasn't exciting at all. It was like there's this movie where um there's this movie where they send people into outer space to work, and because it's going to be so long they clone them and leave their clone on Earth to interact with their families or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen it. That one was also super boring. But it was kind of like that to me. I just I don't understand. It was like basically he gets a call from his daughter, right? So I'm like, ooh, okay, he's got to go into the city and fight the zombies and get his daughter back. Nope, he just goes to the hospital where they've got her, and they're like, oh yeah, she's been bitten, but you can take her home. I'm doing this as a favor for this small town doctor. Uh, I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're gonna have her like locked up, chained up, you know, watch her. She turns into a zombie. Nope, nope, nope. She just goes home, and they send her younger brother and sister off, and then her and her mother and her father just hang out at the house for a while, and like like the neighbors are infected, okay, and so there's a scene where the two neighbors show up, and they just kind of slowly walk in, and then they're zombies, and so oh yeah, my bicycle, is my bicycle here? Yes. Well, my bicycle's way over here for some reason, and so they come walking out of the woods, and so uh he kills one of them. He kills the father. It's the father and a little girl. And after he kills the father, the little girl zombie just stands there. Just stands there. I'm like, okay, these are the worst zombies. And then, and then there's a bizarre scene where the girl, his daughter, falls off the. She's an adult, but she's out swinging on the swing set, and she falls off the swing set and breaks her finger. And so then they're like, we're gonna have to take you to the doctor, and so she decides to cut off her finger. I don't know why. And then they do eventually take her in for a checkup, and the doctor's like, oh, she's gonna lose her appetite, and then when she loses her appetite, then she's then when it comes back, she's gonna start smelling people as food. I'm like, okay, okay. So the zombies, they do want to eat people, even though you haven't shown that yet, other than her getting bit in weird snippet flashback kind of things where you can barely see what's going on. And yeah, and so then it goes through the rest of the movie. There's like her friend shows up. Her friend doesn't care. She's been bitten, is turned into a zombie. They go to a party. There's another kid there that's been bitten, turning into a zombie. Like you're gonna let your kids go out with people who could turn at any time into zombies. Um, and then there's like a scene where the quarantine people come, and the quarantine people the quarantine apparently they've been told that they take him to the quarantine place and they just throw him in with all the other zombies, and so the zombies are eating each other. And then when they go to put him down, whatever they give him is highly painful. They've been told, uh, and so obviously nobody wants to be taken there, and so the kid's like, I'm not going. I don't remember what happened to him. Um, I don't remember if they took him or they shot him. I don't remember. Uh, but then the girl, the daughter, she's turning over the course of the movie, and she gets to the point where they got a scene where she goes into the kitchen with her mother, and she's like, "Do you smell that?" And she's like, "No," and she's like, "It smells like food," and she's like really close to her mother. And so their mother realizes she's turning. She's like, "You gotta take her into the quarantine." It's not her mother; it's her stepmother. "You gotta take her into the quarantine. Can't be here with this." And so she leaves, and then you think, "Oh, finally, she's gonna turn. She's gonna do something." That's basically the movie. Is she's just sitting around waiting for her to do something, and she goes in and she smells her father while he's asleep, and then she kisses him on the forehead, and then he wakes up, and then uh, I I swear it looked like a spent shotgun shell was on the floor, and he reached down and picked it up and put it in. Maybe it wasn't spent, but it looked like a spent shotgun shell, and I was confused. Um, he puts it in his shotgun, and then they show the girl. She goes up to the roof, and she goes on the roof, and she throws herself off the roof, and then that was the end of the movie. And I'm just like, what? How was this a good movie? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. They barely interacted with each other. Uh, so yeah, I was pretty disappointed by Maggie. And then it's like, because you watched Maggie, here's some other suggestions. And so then there was another one on there. Looked like it might be fun, called Morgan. So spoilers for Morgan. Then I watched Morgan, and uh, Morgan was a genetically engineered human movie. Um, and The premise was kind of dumb. Honestly, I don't understand. The premise didn't make sense to me. Uh, it was they developed a synthetic bacteria or something, and then when they implant that in a host, it bonds with the host's neurocells and then takes over somehow, which it didn't explain. And so they apparently also have developed, like, I thought there might be a store here to search, but there's just a bunch of half burnt down buildings, oats, and a creamery down there. But I was looking for guns or something. Uh, this little green place down here. I'm gonna go check this green place. And yeah, and so she attacked one of her handlers. She's in like okay. So they've got like they call her L9, or her uh what's the word I want? Her model is L9. So she's the L9 model of this synthetic human clone hybrid thing they've made. And it turns out what happens is she gets aggressive, and the company sends in a risk assessment manager to determine if experiment is still viable or not. Why is there this little patch of pine forest here? I mean, it's a trader, I see that, but it's... Come on, guy. There's this little patch of pine forest here. Is it not a trader? It seemed like a trader. I'm pretty sure it's a trader. Right? Yeah.
Well, hello, friend. How can I help you today?
Trader Jen.
Hey there. Are you looking for medical supplies or just here to check out my other wares?
I don't know. I'm just looking for stuffs. Here, you can actually have that stuffs. Um, oh man. 15,000 for the Crucible. Oh. Definitely don't have 15,000. I'm gonna do a lot of quests to be able to afford that. She got a lot of... Okay, you know what I want is I want... You have mods for, like my water supply, maybe? Clearly I can't afford the Crucible. I've already read that one. Don't do archery. I already read that one. Oh, I should also look to see if you've got... do you have antibiotics? Okay, water filter. That's a thing, right? How much is that? 7,500. Oh, man. Tarp is another one, 1,500. Gatherer is 720. I could afford that. It increases the rate of the dew collection. Can't believe I only have 720. That's crazy. Okay. No, I don't see any
I
antibiotics.
hope you come back and see me sometime.
That's the wrong button. So we need to mark... Oh, Trader Jen just automatically marks herself over. And so, I don't know. She goes in there and she talks to people, and they're all weird. They're like super on edge, and they seem to be at odds with each other. Although none of it's ever explained what's even going on practically. I mean, you get what's happening. You understand why she's there, what she is, about the laboratory, but all the people are weird, interacting weirdly, and the only explanation they give is like, we've been here together for a long time now, and it's just like, why are they all so, I don't know, just the way they are. So like the head of the project, right? She shows up for like 2 scenes, um, and she's very standoffish, and her and the investigator have like a conversation in Mandarin, and she hints that something horrible went down at another site, and that whatever it was they did killed like 21 of the staff in minutes, and she's like one of the only survivors. And I'm just like, okay, that's interesting, but what does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. Why are you bringing that up? What was she experimenting with? How does that apply to what's happening in this movie? And so I don't know. So there's like a nutritionist. There's the head of the experiment. There's a nutritionist, the head of the experiment. There's the behaviorist. There's, I don't know, a couple of watcher people. Anyways, what happened was basically they explain she's a okay. I've already looted this place, I assume, because here's a bedroll. She's a experimental version of their synthetic clone life form that they already have on the market. But the ones they have on the market are let's make sure this place is been looted. It looks like it. Oh, yeah. Don't touch that. Yeah. And then this is open, so yeah. Never mind. Ouch. Yep. But we are pretty close to that city there. Maybe I should go over to that city and check it out. Bye, guy. So she's an experiment based off of their military version, and what they wanted to know is if they could give it emotions, and if the emotions would overwrite its military training. That was the experiment. Now, nothing they did to me looked very experimental in that direction. And they'd been there for 5 years. No, they've been there longer than 5 years, but 5 years is the how long this one's been alive. And this is their 4th attempt, the main scientist said, and the previous 3 hadn't survived to become people. And so so what had happened was the behaviorist is being really weird. Like, if I had to guess, I would say that the behaviorist was in love with the clone person thing. I don't remember what their names were, so it really seemed like she was in love with her and was thinking about running away with her. Even though the synthetic brain that she has, the synthetic creature brain, whatever, clearly works like a computer. It's very AI kind of thing. And so yeah, I don't know. It didn't get any better. They brought in a psychiatrist, and then I was confused because the psychiatrist is like, I know she hurt somebody, and that's why she's locked in her bedroom at the moment, and nobody else is allowed in. But I want in the bedroom with her, and then I'm gonna question her directly. And by question her directly, he just tried to see how mad he could make her. Oh, dang. Well, that works too. Listen, you didn't want to come over, and I one-shot that guy. And so, all he did was he made her mad to the point where she killed him, and then I'm like, okay, well that was dumb. I don't understand why he did that. And so then she tried to escape, and then the investigator stopped her. And oh, nice, another one shot to that guy. Crazy. I just killed 2 orange-eyed zombies. Oh, nice. Another ammunition. Their armor. Okay, apparently I got a little horde coming through here, trying to irritate me. Or, you know, one more zombie here anyways. And so they try to stop her. She faked being dead. She escaped again. They chased her down. What led up to it was the behaviorist, who really read to me like she was in love with the machine woman. Who's like a 5-year-old teenager. Who doesn't act like a normal person. Okay, she doesn't act like a normal person. You know, she's like, the correct response to what I've done is sadness, so therefore I am sad, kind of thing. And that was when the psychiatrist was yelling at her, trying to make her angry, until he did, and then she killed him. Oh, I'll take that. And so the behaviorist had taken her off property, which she wasn't supposed to do, into the woods. And while they were in the woods, they came... Okay, this is bad. Oh, I thought I was gonna die. I was trying to back up, and I was hung up against something, and then I was trying to knock him down. And then when he did fall down, I was like, ooh, maybe I can kill him. Okay. I'll spawn right here. Hey. And so, they found a deer that was injured, and dying. And so the girl, held it for a little bit while it was dying. And then she... broke his neck. And so I guess that freaked out the behaviorist. And so that's why they locked her in her room, because they were afraid that she had turned violent. And then so the behavior... Dude, there are zombies coming in from everywhere. So the behaviorist had told her that she was going to take her to this lake. And so when they locked her in her room, she could no longer go to the lake. And so that's why she's so mad. That's why she stabbed a woman in the face with a pencil. And so The behaviorist then she then made the behaviorist take her to the lake, and so the investigator and the nutritionist followed them, and then the investigator told the guy to the nutritionist to stay, and she would take care of it. And so then she goes and they fight a little bit in the woods, and then the investigator gets slammed into this branch and it goes through her, sticks her in place, kind of thing. And so the clone goes back to her behaviorist and to the lake, and then she is standing there talking to the behaviorist, and she's like, "Is this what heaven is like?" And oh no, it's another. Oh, dang it. It's green guys. They're tough. And so they fight. So then, yeah, the behaviorist looks over her shoulder, and then the clone turns, and she gets hit in the face with the butt of the rifle that the investigator had at that point. And then they fight. And then the investigator drags her into the lake and drowns her. And oh god, I'm affected. Okay, I'll be dead here in a second. And so then she climbs out of the investigator climbs out of the lake, and you know the behaviorist is standing there, and she's got a gun, and so the investigator takes a gun out of her hand and then shoots her in the head with it, and then walks back to the vehicle where the nutritionist is standing, and then he's like, "Is everything okay?" And then she turns and puts a bullet in his head, and then she goes back to headquarters, and then at headquarters, it's air quote revealed. I already had realized that at the beginning of the movie, but you know, air quote revealed that the investigator was actually the L4 series military model that the L9 is based off of, and that they were just gonna stop funding the L9 project and just go back to the clearly working L4 version. I was like, okay, it was okay, I guess. I don't know, it wasn't anything spectacular. I don't know if it was better than Maggie, but it was about the same level of boringness to me. They didn't go into any detail. Nobody really had any emotional struggling. Not really. Like you don't just shove them on the screen and be like, oh look, they're emotionally challenged by what's happening. I need some build up to it. I need to see them struggling for it to be a good movie, and they don't. They're just like, oh look, here's the frazzled scientist, and he doesn't want his project shut down, and here's the behaviorist who for some reason is in love with the clone, but they never explain it. I don't understand. Here's the nutritionist who's just like, I'm pretty. I'm just like, what is going on with this movie? I don't know. Again, it wasn't bad. Oh, shoot. My plan was to stand on top of that and fight them from up here, and instead I slid right off. I need... Why does everybody gotta be green-eyed and spitting? Anyways, so that was the second movie I watched. What was the third movie I watched? I watched 4 movies yesterday. It was crazy. And all of them kind of bored me. Um, and then I watched Maggie. I watched Morgan. I watched. I know the last movie I watched was called Reality. And it was based off a true story. And the dialogue was directly from the FBI transcripts of what had happened. Like the FBI recorded the interrogation stuff, and the dialogue in the movie was just the transcripts from that interrogation. And it was mildly interesting, but again, it was super slow and boring. What was the other movie? The other movie apparently was so boring that I don't remember what it was. Did I not watch 4 movies? Maybe I only watched 3 movies. And they were all kind of disappointing. I don't know. I was hoping for better, and I didn't get it. Should I throw myself at the top of this place again? I don't know. I got what I came for, which was books. Oh, gal. Just gonna die again. This is what happens when I come to the city. No, this is what happens when I don't have good armor, I feel. My armor's okay for out wandering, but it is not good for these close. I need to be able to take more than 4 or 5 hits before I'm dead. Like, if I'm out in the open and it's one-on-one, I'm alright. But as soon as I get into close quarters, I'm done. Alright, well, with that, I am going to call it. So, be bearing the small things, lean into the light, and I will talk to you later.